But let's just make sure we don't lose anything. So we only have Ano here. Just making sure maybe there's something that popped up there as well, but apparently not. There was only Inamoto. Yup. And let's see. Okay, that's still these two. Nothing new here either. All right. So we get to Inamoto next. I get to be alone with Matsuri a lot, like when we are working on activity reports for the student council, planning training schedules, or keeping records for the team. It's something I find quite enjoyment in. Or it should have been, but I was feeling about as down as I could.
そういうことはいちいち報告してくれなくてもいいのに。でも秘密にしてるのもミユに悪い気がしてさ。何も後ろ暗いことしてないのに隠れてこそこそ浮気してるみたいで私も嫌だし。それにもし私が黙ってたとして他の子から私が告白されてたなんて話聞いたらミユもっと嫌な気持ちになるでしょ。それはそうかもしれないけど報告されたらされたでやっぱり気になるし。
It's determination. How many times have we had this exchange, I wonder? Whenever someone confesses to Matsuri, she always diligently tells me about it. It's reassuring to know that it's reassuring to know I can have faith in her, but I can't help getting a little jealous every time.
ごめんごめん。私がモテすぎるからミユに心配かけちゃうんだよね。
The way she said it irritated me a little. It's true that Matsuri is popular, but how does she expect me to brush it off when she brags about it like that?
それにしたって告白されすぎでしょ。今度の子で一体何人目よ。
I mean, it's not like she can, like, you know, choose to be that popular.
確か13人目かな。
As one of the girls who's had her heart stolen by Matsuri, it might be a little weird for me to say this, but she is popular. She's cheerful, pretty, and always at the center of attention. When I compare myself to her, I get a little depressed. I worry sometimes that we don't really belong together. We've been dating for years, but I have to wonder if she doesn't understand the way it makes me anxious.
それってMatsuriが自分も気づかないうちに気のある素振り見せたりしてるんじゃないの?
Well, she's kinda open about it. Some combination of jealousy and unease caused me to blurt out these words, and I hurriedly covered my mouth after speaking them.
そんなことないって。あれ? もしかしてミユ。
Well,
やきもち?
now she got you.
バカ!
Eh? How could I not be? And how can you ask that like you don't know?
ごめんごめん。だって嫉妬してくれるミユが可愛いもんだからつい。
I could feel my head boiling from the mix of her pointing out my jealousy and calling me cute. My face and ears got hot when the setting sun. With the setting sun on me, I must have looked glowing red.
大丈夫だって。私の心はミユだけのものなんだから。たとえ100人から告白されたからって心配することないよ。
Matsuri reached her arm around my shoulder as she spoke.
ちょっとMatsuri。学校ではそういうのなしって約束でしょ。誰もいないから大丈夫だって。そういうことじゃなくて。
I like it when Matsuri touches me, but honestly, at times like these, it isn't even a matter of our promise that's the issue, but rather Matsuri's lack of tact. Is it my jealousy that makes me think Matsuri's just trying to smooth things over with thoughtful words and flirting? I felt upset at being so transparent to her, so I slapped her hand away and got to my feet.
私帰るから、あとよろしくね。ちょっとミユ、報告書はまだ半分も終わってないでしょ。
Bah. In the end, I pretended not to hear and left her there. We can turn the report tomorrow if Matsuri finishes it. I bet by tomorrow she'll be acting like nothing happened. That's a little frustrating too. Yeah, because Yeah, because she never thinks about that. As I trudged to the main gate, thinking that sort of thing, I heard something from a girl standing behind one of the gate posts. She didn't look familiar, but must have been a first year. Oh, Maki? The first year hung her head and fidgeted like she wanted to say something, but she made no attempt to start a conversation. What's with this girl? I get it. I was about to take a stab when she raised her head resolutely. Yeah. We know what happened, but alright. After practice the next day, just as I expected, Matsuri hadn't touched the report. We were in the club room finishing up together. It's up together. Matsuri was being as cheerful as ever, like she really didn't remember what had happened yesterday. Matsuri stopped writing and looked up. She was staring at me, looking puzzled, waiting for me to continue. Yeah. I kept her in suspense for a second, wanting to see what sort of reaction she could have. Maybe this would finally break her cool. Let's see. That was not the reaction I expected. All the blood drained from Matsuri's face and her eyes darted around about in confusion. Not a shred of her usual composure in sight. I got a little amused seeing how flustered she was getting, and I couldn't resist the urge to tease her that was welling up in me. Yeah, I want to see the reaction too now. That was kind of a good start. I accepted. Yeah, now imagine that 13 times, by the way. Is this what a defendant awaiting a death sentence looks like? Matsuri's face had gone so pale, thoughts like that were passing through my mind. Matsuri yelled louder than I'd ever heard her before, even when she cheered at track meets. Yeah, now imagine that 13 times. Must feel good to get back at her like this. I was surprised when I saw the tears forming in the corners of Matsuri's eyes. I just wanted her to understand a little of the anxiety I'm always feeling. I didn't mean to hurt her so much. How can I tease her more when she's looking at me like an abandoned puppy? By the time I got Matsuri to stop crying, the sun had completely set. We missed our deadline for the report. I was just trying to get back at her a little. Why did I end up working so hard to console her? This isn't fair at all, right? So, I thought anyway. Nonetheless, I felt the anxiety that had been tormenting me yesterday fading away, as if it hadn't even been real. I already knew how much I need Matsuri, but now I know how much she needs me too. Yeah.
私も結構ちょろくできてるのかしら。でもそれも相手があなただからよ。
Sounded like the setting tone for Inamoto and Matsuri, but maybe we get more. Game surprises me sometimes. Let's check it out if we have one more. Yes, Troubles. And maybe one more after that, maybe in October. Check it out. Oh, we haven't seen that before, did we? Like that kind of poster. After the second day of the practice camp, I checked our best times. Mine and Tina's.
Miyu senpai, そろそろ夕ご飯です。ああ、ひな。何してるんですか？ちょっと記録の確認をね。そうですか。ひな、頑張ってるわね。
She is much harder than anyone else, but hard work alone doesn't always translate into the results you want.
そんなことないです。
Hina looked a little bashful for a second, then her expression changed to an uncertain one. It was probably when she noticed my face.
少し話があるの。座ってもらえる？はい。
As the vice captain, there is something that I have to ask her before long. It was probably the perfect timing that Hina showed up to retrieve me. I wouldn't get a better opportunity to ask her. Hina may have sensed that too. She was waiting for my words with a serious expression on her face.
ねえ、ひな。最近コーチから勧められてるんでしょ？中長距離への転向。
I knew it. Did we ever like get a response from Hina about that though? Hina made a face like I'd said what she was expecting and gave a little nod.
最近の記録を比べてみると、私でもそう考えざるを得ないわね。ひな、長い距離の方がいい記録が出そうなんだもの。
On the other hand, she seems to have plateaued on sprinting. I think she realizes that too.
参考用の800の記録とか結構いい数字なのよね。これを見ちゃうとコーチがもったいないって思う気持ちもわかるの。中長距離に専念したらもっと伸びるかもって。どうなの？このまま短距離で続ける？それとも中長距離に移ってもいいと思ってる
？She gave me very typically Hina responses, not really a yes or a no.
まだ決められない？よかったら理由を聞かせてもらえる？今までずっと短距離でやってきたし。
Try it.
そうね。
I understand how she feels. I think it takes courage to change the track you've been focusing on for so long because you're not getting better times. It's not just a question of stubbornness. I'm sure she's also worried about what would happen if she switched tracks and still couldn't improve.
種目が変われば練習の内容だって変わるものね。もちろん中長距離なら中長距離の作戦ってものもあるしね。
Yeah, just broaden your horizon. Might be better.
もちろん短距離のままでもいろいろ工夫できるところはあると思うわ。フォームを変えたりね。ひなの場合、まだこれから体が大きくなる可能性もあるしね。
I watched Hina's face as I spoke. I wonder if I also looked like this back then. I had to think about switching to middle and long distance at one point too, but in my case I didn't have anyone to talk to about it. It was when I really became aware of a gap between my times on the 100 meter and Matsuri's. I was starting to think that I'd never catch up to her no matter how hard I worked. I thought about it, agonized over it, and decided not to switch in the end. I was still getting good times in the 200 meter, and though I couldn't compare to Matsuri's times in the 100 meter, it wasn't like my times were bad. I didn't think I was at my limit yet, and I might have also been a little stubborn. I'm sure it's possible Hina could improve her sprinting records. In her case, my concern is more that she has just as much potential in middle and long distance.
転校したら下でやっぱり壁に突き当たる可能性もあるけどね。
I gave her a feeble smile, hoping it might lighten her mood a little, but the expression on her face was just as hard to read as always. I might have jumped the gun by bringing this up. Hina's a first year after all.
Hina?
Yeah, that's when you can still form them.
Hina は陸上やってて楽しい？ずっと競技を続けていきたいと思ってる？はい。
Then don't switch.
そう。それじゃあ、今は答えが出ないかもしれないけど、やっぱり早めに結論出した方がいいわね。
That's why we saw Hina actually at the summer camp going, you know, at the break of dawn, basically, you know, going around the track. Maybe she was like trying for the 800 one, see if she likes it.
どうしてですか？これから先も競技者として生きていくなら、ある程度の実績がないと厳しいわ。あなたの現状を考えると、それにはやっぱり専念する方が近道だと思うから。実績。もちろん絶対転校しろなんてこと言わない。短距離に残るのも一つの選択だし、結果としてどちらが正しいか私にもわからないし。
Yeah, depends on what is more fun. And that's what you, because if you don't have fun, then you're not gonna get good results because you don't like doing it.
でも今私の言ったこと、ちゃんと考えてみてね。
But always make sure to broaden up your horizons and trying new things, obviously. I'd like it in the end.
はい、わかりました。夢のない話でごめんね。
Hina nodded as I apologized, a meek look on her face.
やっぱり先輩、すごいです。すごい？私が？話、とてもわかりやすかったから。そう？それに、まつり先輩もみゆ先輩もとても早いし、やっぱり私にとって二人とも目標だし。
Hearing the admiration in Hina's words felt a little awkward somehow.
私、転校なんて全然考えたことなかったけど、ちゃんと先のことまで考えないとダメなんだな。
And she looked at me with those radiant eyes of hers.
やっぱり先輩、すごいです。
Why do I feel so relieved hearing her words? It's not as if this has resolved my own worries as an athlete. I didn't think it would be this comforting to just having a junior who looks up to you.
本当にひなは可愛いわね。
I couldn't help giving her a pat on the head, a little roughly to hide my embarrassment. And at that moment, I heard a grumbling sound from below me, loud and not very cute at all. Oh, that one.
みたいね。ごめんなさい。少しのつもりがずいぶん長くなっちゃったね。じゃ、そろそろご飯に行こうか。はい。よしよし、いい返事ね。可愛い後輩にはおかずを少し分けてあげようかしら。やった、先輩大好き。調子のいいこと。さあ、行きましょう。
We laughed a little as we left the classroom, almost like our worries had completely blown away. The cute junior of mine is trying to choose the best path for herself. I think I'll give it all the thought I can so she can take it without any regrets. Perfect. Kind of anticipated that though, like the interaction between them, because, you know, obviously. But I also like I think I mentioned that before. I also like the interactions between the characters that you wouldn't normally anticipate. Like, for Tsurugimine, we had the interaction with Aki, which was fucking amazing. And then for Ichikawa, we had the short, brief interaction with Aihara-senpai. I kind of like that, you know, them running into each other, having a little bit of a discussion. And also, obviously, with... was it Aihara-senpai, and then she was together with Maki? Because for some reason, I can't remember her last name. You know, her interaction with Hina was also pretty damn awesome to see. Next one we have Coach. Is there something new here? No, that's... Whoops. That's still that. So we have Coach, which should be the last one for Miyu, for Inamoto senpai. Inside the inner building, you can't hear all the hustle and bustle. I'm a hustler. of the school preparing for the festival. Still on edge from my fight with Matsuri, I was thankful for the quiet. I opened up my training schedule notebook, intending to distract myself a bit with it. It might be less of a break that I'm hoping, since I really do need to put together our autumn's training schedule soon. Normally, I'll do this in the club room, but right now I want to keep a little distance between myself and Matsuri. These are more meets as the season changes from fall to winter. I'll have to make sure everyone's in top condition for them. From fall to winter. Oh yeah. Which, by the way, autumn, definitely, the autumn is like, I was always a winter person, but ever since last year, gotta make sure to remember when this actually airs. Ever since last year, I definitely realized that autumn is just the fucking best season ever. I flipped through my notebook to the meets schedule and checked who'd be running in them. Everyone gets motivated to achieve better times right before a meet, so I'll have to make sure they are all practicing enough to satisfy them. There is no point in thinking up these training schedules if someone gets over enthusiastic and hurts herself doing her own extra practicing. I guess you can kind of account like who would do stuff on their own and who wouldn't, I guess. With the general plan decided, I had to start working out programs for each individual event. Each girl needs a plan to improve her shortcomings and strengthen the things she already excels at. Aihara? I guess? Sounded like it. I was focused on the programs. I didn't notice that someone had entered the classroom, not until she called out to me. Called it! I've heard that before from her. Obviously. Oh, for that one older teacher, I guess? We know why. 2 words slipped out before I could catch myself. Miki sat down at the desk in front of mine. She'd seen through me, hasn't she? That I'm not in the greatest mood. Who are you all of a sudden, Nina? I must have first noticed around the end of summer vacation. She, well, to put it simply, cheered up. Even now, when she could be incredibly busy helping people before the school festival, she seems to be completing her tasks with ease. 100%. Miki tilted her head in hesitation before responding. She nodded, looking a little embarrassed, but there was an incredibly gently smile on her face too. Fighting with Matsuri, we've dragged Hina into it too. I don't really want to be doing this, but I've gone too far to stop myself. I just can't stand the idea of apologizing first. A pain throbbed deep down in my chest. Miki was looking at me with a dark expression. Her concern was plain on her face. I think I can't see why so many girls call her the saint. She's just so good-natured. Ichikawa definitely called her that. For a moment I wanted to just tell her everything. I wouldn't have to carry so much of this pain in my chest if I did. But... I swallowed the words. Miki said, dropping the question. Instead, she looked down at my desk. She easily changed the subject. The casual consideration seems mature of her too. I like doing it, but since I'd started, it just to take my mind off our fight. Hearing those kinds of words is a little embarrassing. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, like a separate schedule for every single one? Jesus. I've considered continuing track as a coach before. Well, obviously. I really felt that. She was giving me an opinion after considering my feelings and position rather than simply supplying careless flattery. She'd always been mature, but it's like she's really become an adult now. Honestly, I'm kind of jealous. Miki looked at the clock in sudden realization. There was still a mountain of printouts waiting to be distributed atop the podium. I mean, everyone did. Silence engulfed the room again as the door shut behind her. I leaned back in my chair and stared up at the ceiling. I muttered. I wonder what Matsuri would say if I told her I was planning on becoming one. Would she be happy about my decision to continue with track that way? Or does she only need me as a fellow athlete she can run together with? Even so, it's good to reaffirm that I have options like that even when I'm feeling so trapped right now. I turned back to the notebook and my training schedules, picking up my pencil. Oh, that's, you know, when we played, when we had, I think it was Miki's part for Ayada-senpai, when she graduated, alongside also Inamoto and Matsuri, obviously. Didn't Inamoto and Matsuri give her like a bouquet of flowers? So we know why they gave her that. I thought as I got back to my planning, it was good to have more happy things to think about. And that should conclude Inamoto, even though I would have liked a more of a happy outlook, because, you know, that was still during the lovers' quarrel, but maybe... Okay, we got more. Perfect. Yes, lessons in love. Just make sure. Yeah, that's that. All right, good thing. So we leave off, you know, and for Inamoto's part on a good note, it seems. Lessons in love. Don't ask me. No, I'm not sure why I did that. Sounded better in my head. Oh, the decision. Matsuri and I pressed her, but Hina just gave her usual short answer and a nod. In a corner of the outer courtyard, a little ways away from the track. Today was one of the days Matsuri and I just happened to be participating in a track team training, and Hina had quietly called us over here after practice. Hina told us about her confession to Yuna-chan, oh that, and that Yuna-chan had given her the okay. Oh, didn't she? Yeah, okay, that's awesome, because during Hina's part, when we played Hina's side storyline kind of thing, didn't she say that she was thinking about like asking these two for advice? So, and I was like, you know, it would be cool to actually hear like, you know, what she was asking and stuff like that, and the advice they give her. I think that is it. It's gonna be great. She'd seemed a little nervous before telling us, but she'd taken a deep breath and laid out her report. And Matsuri and I were pressing her for confirmation before she had even finished speaking. She said okay. I would rather say she said yes, but alright. Okay. We actually knew about Tina's confession already. We'd gotten it out of Yuna-chan when we were apologizing to her for getting Hina wrapped up in our problems, so Matsuri and I had been quietly awaiting this news. So Yuna-chan managed to give her an answer, the best one Hina could hope for. But I'm surprised Hina would come to report to us. Was it because she felt it was her duty, or because she's just honest to a fault? Honest to a fault? Oh yeah. Matsuri whispered so that only I could hear. Hina cocked her head as we whispered to each other. She really is such a cute junior. I'm really happy she got together with a girl she loves. God damn it. That's a field day for Matsuri now. Okay, Matsuri's gonna be amazing here. Or is she gonna be serious? We're gonna see. Yeah, she knows that they are together. For a second I had no idea what Hina had asked. I was at a complete loss, but after a moment I realized the meaning of her words and... We repeated, both me and Matsuri. Caught it! The same question, do what? No, I'm pretty sure of the answer. And the question. Like I thought, I'd figured, but that wasn't the sort of thing I expected to hear from Hina at all. My head had just gone completely blank. Okay, I thought she would be all over, but no mind. No. Hina seemed a little embarrassed in front of the two of us panicking idiots, but continued unabated. Not really. Well... They already do, if you haven't realized. No, it means that Kindred spirits are gonna be away faster. You don't want that to happen, you know?
ちゃんが言ったの？そういうことをしようって。
That Yuna-chan. Was she that fast a worker?
そういうわけじゃないかな。じゃあひなから？違う。じゃあどういうことよ。よくわかんないけど。
The government.
なるから。よくわかんないってダメ、絶対ダメよ。でも本当に近いうちに学校に泊まるから。いやだから学校に泊まるってどうやって？勝手に泊まることなんてできないのよ。夜になったら追い出されちゃうんだし。
Unless no one knows.
なんとかする。
Exactly.
だからなんとかってどうするのよ。もうどうしたっていうのひな。
Really, what's going on? They're suddenly going to stay over at school and to have sex? Is that something Yuna said she wanted to do? Is it not? I don't understand at all.
さ、ひな。学校に泊まりたいわけ？エッチするために？そうです。
As blunt as I expected?
具体的な計画はないの？これから考えるってこと？
I was first thinking like what, like a plan for having sex, but I guess she means a plan on how they plan to like stay over there with no one noticing.
そっか。だからなんでそんなことしようとするのよ。よし、わかった。私たちに任せなさい。
Yeah, that's kind of what I like what I expected from Matsuri.
はあ？祭り何を言い出すの？いやだってさ、せっかくひながこう言ってるんだよ。先輩として役に立ちたいじゃん。
Yeah, that's a good example.
先輩だからってこういう役に立つことないじゃない。なんかさ、ひなこうなったらダメって言っても聞きそうにないし。そうだけど。だったらいっそ協力してあげたいんだよね、私としては。
It's true that Hina's face seems to be saying that she won't take no for an answer, but can we really help her with this? Yes. Yeah, that much we know. But I mean, that doesn't really answer the question, though. You know, still. And since, by the way, now it's like Matsuri is now back to her former self, now would be a good time to actually explain her how to do it. True, it'd be easy to sneak into the school with that, but as a skeleton key. But are we really going to use it for something like this? Maybe also the Cowl of Nocturnal might help out. Gives you more sneak bonus and life detect. Yeah, and now on to the lesson. Yeah. Yes, please do. Yeah, true. True that. It explains Hina's splendid performance, however. Yeah. Don't you dare stop her now, Miyu. Don't you? She's gonna stop her, but don't you dare. I have to check that scene out again between Hina and Yuna to see if she actually did that, because I don't remember the details.
なんで私を例に出すのよ。
Who else?
いきなりキスしてもいいんだけどね。ミユ、耳が特に弱いから。
Jesus, get a room.
キス。ひな、祭りはね、耳元で愛してる好きよって言ってあげるとすぐにその気になるわよ。愛して。ミユ。優しく胸触ってあげるといいよ。まずは優しくだからね。うなじから背中にかけて舌でツツーってやるの、すぐに反応が変わるわよ。
Maybe take notes because they are trying to compete like for, you know, like double time rapping right here at the moment.
あとはミユの場合は。いいひな、祭りだったらね。
Yeah, take notes. We spent a good 10 minutes like that, just back and forth in an erogenous zone revealing relay.
別に無理に指入れなくてもいいのに、祭りってばいつも痛いって泣き出すんだから。泣いてないでしょ。ミユだっていじられるとすごい声出すじゃん。
Yeah, give me an example.
待って祭り、そろそろやめましょう。ちょっとシャレにならないわ。
God damn it.
そうだね。それにユナちゃんとヒナに当てはまるかわかんないし。
Exactly. Yeah, got all that.
いっぱいになってるみたいだし、ちょっと刺激が強すぎたかな。
And a little too fast.
そんなことまでしなきゃ。
Hina's eyes are wide as saucers. It looks like it really was too stimulating. And Matsuri and I got kinda into exposing each other's weak points at the end there too. That was the whole thing, it seems. The full Monty. I guess that means Matsuri and I were totally fine carrying on like that.
Hina, 本当にそこまでしなくてもいいんだからね。
And yes, do it all at once.
そうよ。最初は相手の体ちょっと触ったりするだけでいいのよ。手をつないで一緒に寝るだけでもいいんだから。
Kinda as we've seen with Hutano and Ichikawa.
とにかくあれだ。触りたいとこ触ればいいんだよ。そうね。それで相手が嫌がったりしたら我慢しなさい。
That was basically all you should have said. Hina's been reduced to nodding in response.
まあ、いろいろ言っちゃったけどさ。
You think so?
してしなくてもいいんだからさ。
I mean, they could have, like, you know, they said this was going on for 10 minutes. Which they kind of, like, you know, put up with a sentence. And they gave us a little bit of an example. I would have actually liked to hear, like, that bantering between Miyu and Matsuri the whole 10 minutes. I would have actually, you know, like... You know, just fucking manga gamers who released this, or like, you know, the actual producers of this, give me like a DLC, a drama CD where that full 10 minutes is actually exposed and what they were all saying, because I would kind of like to hear that.
本当よ。まあ学校に泊まりたいって言うなら協力するから。でも焦っちゃダメよ。そうそう。エッチする前にすることだっていろいろあるんだしね。ああ、いやらしい意味じゃなくてさ。
No one said that.
そうね。デートしたり、ご飯一緒に食べたり。ああ、ひなとゆなちゃんは毎日そうしてるんだっけ？
Exactly my point.
おお、そっか。
Maybe not the date stuff, but yeah.
でも恋人同士になったならちょっと変わるかもね。ひなとゆなちゃんなら心配ないかもしれないけどさ。付き合いが長くても喧嘩したりもするんだよ。
Those words hurt a little since we were just doing that so recently.
でも相手のことちゃんと見て考えてればすぐ仲直りできるんだけどね。
And getting together after that is definitely gonna just get you closer then, you know, when you make up. And then make out!
どんな時でもひなはちゃんとゆなちゃんのこと見てあげなさい。大好きなんでしょ？自分の気持ち見失っちゃダメだよ、ひな。ゆなちゃんだってひなのことは大好きなんだからね。そのこと忘れちゃダメよ。 わかりました。よし、先輩からのアドバイスは以上。泊まり込みの三段はこっちでつけてあげるわ。日にちが決まったら教えてちょうだい。
Pretty sure you already have a date.
先輩たち、ありがとうございました。どういたしまして。ゆなちゃんによろしくね。
Hina nodded, bowed to us again, and went off toward the school buildings. She was a little unsteady on her feet as if she still hadn't gotten over the excitement of her conversation with us. Watching her go, I got the feeling we told her some really incredible things and that we were getting involved in something really incredible too. But I guess we had no choice since she asked us. We just can't resist wanting to help her. I think we might reflect a little on what we told her, but we won't regret it. Yeah, I actually never really realized, or I kind of forgot actually, where Hina laid it on those two that she knew that they were like being like that like Inamoto and Matsuri were a couple. I don't know when she laid that on them, but obviously it was after that because they just went full ham, which I didn't expect that. And if we're going to be that graphic, you know.
ひながね、ゆなちゃんとか。まあ、まだするって決まったわけじゃないけど。
But really? After you laid all that on her? Matsuri and I are holding hands for some reason. I guess we both just wanted to. Maybe because we saw Hina getting so desperate for Yuna-chan's sake. I just started to feel like Matsuri was precious to me. I wonder if she feels the same way. She's got my hand in hers too. Is it gonna be on biology?
勉強？いいわよ。わかんないとこちょっとだけだから時間余るかもしれないけど。
Yes, biology.
おじさんとおばさんはいらっしゃるの？いるけど。
Never mind.
それじゃ勉強を教えるだけよ。時間が余ったらおしゃべりには付き合ってあげる。
Yeah, just like before.
それでいいよ。それ以上しないってば。
On the biology. I wonder. I started walking, Matsuri's hand still in mine. Matsuri followed right after me.
今度の週末、うち両親が旅行に行くみたいなの。私も一緒にって言われてるんだけど。でも、祭りの勉強、今日で終わっちゃうかしら。それは、もう、みゆ愛してる。いいわよ。お泊まりの支度していらっしゃい。やった！
There are all sorts of things Hina and Yuna-chan and Matsuri and I have to worry about still. But we'll be fine. But we'll be fine, Matsuri. And Hina and Yuna-chan will be too. As long as we can walk together like this. Good that we leave everyone on a good note. It's on a good note. It seems pretty good. So that was it for Inamoto. Exactly. So if you all know, by the way, no, it's not like rocket science. You all know that this right here is gonna be the last one that we go for, because Tsurugimine is just the best. But you know, you all already anticipated this. So we have we only have 3 left. I hope there's gonna be a little bit more, because there probably is. So we have Ano left. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens after we have unlocked all the apples. Maybe we get some pineapples. Would be amazing. I wouldn't mind that at all. But yeah, we have Ano. Shit, I totally forgot her name. Has been a while since I played this. Megumi, of course. We have Ano, Megumi, and Tsurugibine. So our plan is gonna be Idiots in Love. I think it might be Yuka. Sounds like it, at least. Yeah, Yuka was kind of a part in this month as well. Could be a thing, yeah. So I guess what we're gonna do is we're gonna go for Ano. I don't know what Ano is gonna be all about. Maybe it's I would assume that it's gonna be related to Nena as well, since they are kind of close together, and I still want them to get together, but probably not gonna happen. But yeah, I think we're gonna go Ano, then Megumi, and then of course our grande finale, the absolute best character in the entire game, which only solidified its. She only solidified, if that's a word, herself, English, with the last part with Aki, where, you know, she was like, I gotta be more cuter and I gotta come up with something, and then Aki actually, you know, overheard her inner monologue, and then, you know, also ended her sentence with something. It was just amazing. But yeah, next one is gonna be Ano, supernatural girl. We have like maybe 3, maybe even a little bit more of a side stuff for her, like a side story for her. Then we have Megumi, and then we close out with Tsurugimine, and then we're gonna see what we have. Actually, maybe we also with that, maybe we unlock something for Sono-sensei. Even though, no, we already had bonus scenes with her. Yeah, but maybe we're gonna see what happens after that. If we unlock something special, probably, since we basically completed the entire game then, or if we get some, like, because this thing is suspicious, to say the least, because I think to close out the game entirely, there has to be something on the 13th of November. But we're gonna have to wait and see about that. So yeah, next time we're gonna check out Ano. Part after that, we're gonna check out yeah, we're gonna check out Megumi, and then we're gonna check out Tsurukimine for the grand finale. And by the way, just to let you guys know, I actually realized that after checking the recording, that I made a little bit of a goof or a gaffe, because we have this extra right here, Math Club, in May, which I did, but apparently I didn't upload it, which is kind of weird. So hopefully, if I don't forget it, by the way, because you know, the playthrough would be incomplete. I haven't shown you the first extra for Tsurugimine, I think. So we're gonna go with that, and then, you know, just extend the playtime a little bit, because I fucking love Tsurugimine as well. And then we're gonna go with Weaponized Cuteness, but we go into that again when we go for the Tsurugimine part bonus scene, obviously. But yeah, next one, obviously, is gonna be Ano. Let's see how that goes.